Name a game that was announced of a date and then it was delayed and it was good. Dude, that is every game. Like every good game that happens to. Nearly every major game that ends up being good gets a delay. A lot of times, yeah, it is like a season to a particular date, but there are a lot of instances of like a hard date that gets pushed, sometimes multiple times. Red Dead Redemption 2 got nearly a year delay from the second half of 2017 to October 26, 2018. GTA 5 was Q2 of 2013, that got delayed until September 17th of that same year. But you want a hard date to hard date. So Elden Ring got delayed from January 21st to February 25th. Uncharted 4 got multiple hard date delays. It was first targeting the end of 2015, then it got pushed to March 18th, and then it kept getting pushed, I think, twice until April 26th of 2016. Those are so many hard date pushes. Similar thing Last of Us Part 2, where it was announced for a hard date of February 21st and then kept getting pushed with multiple dates all the way until we got to the June 19th release date. And here's an example of Ubisoft specifically doing this. Granted, it was a long time ago, but Far Cry 3 got delayed from September 4th till December 4th. And those are just the ones I remembered off the top of my head. This happens to nearly every big game, and if it's not a hard date that gets delayed to another hard date, it's a season or a quarter or a release window. And if there is no delay that's announced to the public, a lot of times there are internal delays, which is sometimes why we don't get a release date of any kind for a game for like a lot longer than it feels like we should. Delays are good things. It means that the developer was able to convince their publisher to give them more time to polish the game. A lot of times when games come out and they're not great or they are underwhelming, it's when they fail to get that extension. In all three of these cases, the developers wanted more time and the publisher refused to grant a delay. Cyberpunk is probably the best example of this because it's a game that started off basically unplayable and is now fantastic. And that's like the perfect illustration of what happens when you just give a game more time. Because from a publisher's standpoint, delaying a game just means it costs more money to make. That's months more of development costs that you have to do. Because from the publisher's perspective, making a better game isn't always necessarily going to make it sell better. Like there is a point of diminishing returns where they're like, it's not worth the extra money it would be to get this, to a point of perfection. Let's just take the okay game, it'll sell the same. Which has been Ubisoft's entire MO for like the past decade, and it finally caught up with them, and now they're in a position where Assassin's Creed Shadows is kind of make or break for them. And so they're finally being like, okay, actually, if the developer says we need more time to polish, let's give them that time. Which is why their stock price took a hit after they announced the delay, because shareholders don't care about the quality of the game. They care that now it's going to cost a whole lot more money and they're not going to make their money back until February potentially. Again, I'm not saying Assassin's Creed Shadows is necessarily going to be good because of the delay, but I promise whatever game we get is better than the one we would have gotten in November.